Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling a big issue with serious implications for Canada's future, the decline of its next generation of researchers. We're talking about the brilliant minds, the future innovators, the folks who dedicate their lives to solving complex problems. It's a complex issue, but by understanding the challenges, we can start thinking about solutions. So, buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into the world of Canadian research and the factors shaping its future.
Let's be real. You can't talk about research without talking about funding. It's like trying to bake a cake without flour. It's just not going to happen. For young researchers in Canada, that flour is in increasingly short supply. Significant reductions in grants and scholarships are leaving researchers high and dry. Conducting experiments, collecting data, traveling to conferences, it all costs money. We're seeing a steady decline in grants awarded and shrinking award sizes. This creates a perfect storm for young researchers, especially in fundamental research fields. As of 2023, the country continues to lag behind many other developed nations in R&D spending as a percentage of GDP. Canada's gross domestic expenditure on R&D (GERD) stands at approximately 1.9% of GDP, which is below the OECD average of 2.7% and far behind innovation leaders such as South Korea, 4.8%, and Germany, 3.1%. According to Policy Options, the digital magazine of the Institute for Research on Public Policy, Canada's track record of groundbreaking research has faced significant setbacks due to drastic federal funding cuts. Alarmingly, Canada is the only G7 nation to reduce government-funded research and development, R&D, as a proportion of GDP. This shortfall in funding for discovery research comes at a steep cost. Without adequate support, top-tier and emerging scientific talent will likely emigrate to countries where research is prioritized, leaving Canada deprived of their contributions. This brain drain will have far-reaching consequences, undermining advancements in health, social and economic sectors, and diminishing productivity across the nation. Once these leading researchers leave, they rarely return, and their absence will leave Canada not only less innovative, but also poorer and less healthy in the long run.
Government policies play a crucial role in shaping research. They control funding, set priorities, and create the regulatory environment. Past and present policies have shaped Canadian research. There's been a shift towards applied research and commercialization. Applied research is like focusing on the fruit. Fundamental research is like tending to the roots. Neglecting the roots will cause the tree to wither. We need a balanced approach supporting both types of research. Young researchers need a stable and supportive environment. Policies should foster collaboration and long-term thinking. Let's create a thriving environment for young researchers.
In many societies, including Canada, there's a stigma attached to a career in research. You tell someone you're a researcher and they say, "Oh, that's nice, but what's your job?" This perception has real consequences. Young people are bombarded with messages about what constitutes a successful career path, and research isn't at the top of the list. This lack of visibility contributes to a culture where research isn't seen as a viable career option, especially for young people facing mounting student debt and a competitive job market. We need to change the narrative, celebrate the achievements of researchers, and highlight the crucial role they play in society. By devaluing research careers, we're essentially devaluing our own potential.
In the world of research, mentorship is crucial, especially for young researchers who are just starting out. A good mentor can make all the difference, providing not only technical expertise but also career advice, emotional support, and encouragement. However, Canada is facing a mentorship gap. As senior researchers retire and fewer young people enter the field, there are not enough experienced mentors to go around. This shortage has serious implications for the development of young researchers, who often lack the guidance and support they need to navigate the complexities of the research world. Without strong mentors, young researchers might struggle to secure funding, publish their work, or build the networks they need to advance their careers. Closing this mentorship gap is essential. Universities and research institutions need to prioritize mentorship programs and connect young researchers with experienced mentors. We need to foster a culture of mentorship where knowledge and experience are shared freely. Investing in mentorship is investing in the future of Canadian research. It's about creating an environment where young researchers feel supported and empowered to reach their full potential.
Let's talk about resources. Researchers need specialized equipment, lab materials, databases, and technical support to do their jobs. Access to these resources isn't always a given, especially for young researchers in Canada. We're often working with limited budgets, competing for access to shared equipment, and navigating bureaucratic hurdles just to order basic supplies. This lack of access to resources can stifle innovation and slow down the pace of research. We need to make it easier for young researchers to access the resources they need, whether it's through increased funding, streamlined procurement processes, or partnerships with industry. We need to remove the barriers that are preventing them from doing their best work. Investing in research resources is investing in Canada's future. It's about creating an environment where brilliant minds can thrive and tackle some of the world's most pressing challenges.
Let's talk about the job market for researchers in Canada. You've spent years dedicated to your education, earned your PhD, and honed your research skills. You're ready to contribute to the world. But then you hit a wall: the job market. The academic job market, especially in research-intensive fields, is incredibly competitive. There are far more qualified PhD graduates than there are tenure-track positions available. This scarcity of academic positions leads many young researchers down a path of precarious employment, with short-term contracts and postdoctoral fellowships that feel more like internships. It's a cycle that can be incredibly stressful and disheartening. We need to rethink the traditional academic career path, create more stable employment opportunities within academia, and broaden the definition of what it means to have a successful research career. A PhD is a valuable asset, and we need to ensure that those who earn this degree have access to a range of fulfilling and well-compensated career options. It's about creating a research environment where young researchers can thrive.
Let's dive into the topic of work-life balance, or perhaps the struggle for it, in the world of research. The research lifestyle, especially for early career researchers, can be incredibly demanding, often blurring the lines between work and personal life. We're talking about long hours in the lab, late nights analyzing data, weekends spent writing grant proposals, and the constant pressure to publish and secure funding. This relentless pace can take a toll on mental health, relationships, and overall well-being. We need to create a culture that values work-life balance, where researchers are encouraged to take breaks, prioritize their mental health, and pursue interests outside of the lab. This isn't just about being nice. It's about creating a sustainable research environment where researchers can thrive in the long term. This shift in culture needs to happen at all levels, from funding agencies to research institutions. A happy and healthy researcher is a productive researcher.
The research world is a global one. Scientists, engineers, and scholars from all corners of the globe are collaborating and competing. While this international exchange of ideas is valuable, it also creates a challenge for countries like Canada that are trying to attract and retain top research talent. For many talented Canadian researchers, opportunities are increasingly found outside of Canada's borders. We're facing a bit of a brain drain. Many of our brightest minds are being lured away by better funding, higher salaries, and more supportive research environments in other countries. This brain drain isn't just a loss for Canada, it's a gain for other countries who are reaping the benefits of our investment in education and research. We need to make Canada a more attractive destination for top research talent, both homegrown and international. This means investing in research funding, creating stable career paths, and fostering a research culture that values innovation and collaboration. We need to show the world that Canada is serious about research and ready to compete on a global stage. It's about creating an environment where brilliant minds can thrive.
We've covered a lot of ground in this series, haven't we? We've discussed the challenges young researchers in Canada face, from dwindling funding and a competitive job market, to the relentless pressure to publish. It can feel overwhelming, like trying to climb a mountain with a heavy backpack and worn-out shoes. But we are not here to discourage you. We are here to inspire action. The future of Canadian research depends on it. We need to advocate for our researchers, their potential, and the future they embody. So what can we do? How do we reverse this trend and ensure that Canada remains a global leader in research and innovation? We need a collective effort from governments, universities, industry, and individuals to create a research environment that attracts, nurtures, and supports the next generation of brilliant minds. We need to invest in research funding, address the infrastructure deficit, and rethink the traditional academic career path. Budget 2024 introduced measures aimed at strengthening research and innovation in Canada, allocating $2.6 billion over 5 years for core research grants and an additional $825 million to scholarships and fellowships for graduate students and postdoctoral researchers. These investments focus on advancing key sectors such as artificial intelligence, climate solutions, and health innovation, positioning Canada as a global leader in these critical fields. However, significant structural challenges persist. Canada ranks near the bottom among OECD countries in business investment in research and development, R&D. Additionally, the nation faces difficulties in converting its strong academic research output into commercially viable technologies and innovations. There is also growing pressure to rethink traditional academic career paths to better align with modern economic demands and technological advancements. These hurdles highlight the need for a holistic approach to reform, including incentivizing private sector R&D and fostering collaboration between academia and industry. We need to foster a research culture that values collaboration, work-life balance, and celebrates the contributions of researchers to society. It's a big task, but together we can create a brighter future for Canadian research. Our brightest minds can choose to stay, contribute, and make groundbreaking discoveries that benefit not just Canada, but the entire world.
That's it for today's deep dive into the challenges and potential solutions for nurturing the next generation of researchers in Canada. If you found this video insightful, hit that like button and share it with your networks. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious.